Hello, Tarnished, and welcome back to another Souls-like video. Alright, let's cut straight to it. Hollow Knight Silksong has only been out for 2 weeks, and the numbers are already insane. In just 14 days, Silksong has reached 1/3 of the entire lifetime sales of the original Hollow Knight. That's 3.2 million units on Steam, 500,000 on PlayStation, 500,000 on the Switch, and a massive 1.5 million downloads on Xbox Game Pass. That's not just a good launch, that's a generational indie launch. And the kicker, this game is only $20, not $70 like a AAA game, not even $30 like most big indies, but $20. And in just 2 weeks, it's already rewriting the indie sales chart. But here's the twist. If you've been online, you've probably seen the opposite take. Complaint while saying Silksong is too hard, too easy, too samey, too different, you name it. So today, we're going to break this down, what these numbers actually mean, and why complaints don't always equal bad design. Let's start with the raw sales. Hollow Knight, the original game, sold around 15 million copies over its lifetime, and thanks to the popularity of Silksong, has sold over 200k last week on Steam alone, and this is at the full $15 price point too. Silksong in just 2 weeks is already at over 5 million players engaged. That's 3.2 million direct purchases on Steam, 1 million purchases between PlayStation and Switch, and another 1.5 million players through the Game Pass. For comparison, Dead Cells sold over 10 million copies, but it took years of patches and expansions. Blasphemous, a massive indie Souls-like, sits around 4 million total, and even Celeste, one of the most celebrated indies of all time, never opened this strong. So what's fueling this? Part of it is hype. People have been waiting for years for Silksong, and Team Cherry built a loyal fan base off Hollow Knight, but the $20 price tag also plays a huge role. Accessibility matters. You're not second guessing a $70 purchase, you're spending less than dinner for a game with dozens of hours of content. And being on Game Pass, that's the accelerant. Millions of people who never even played Hollow Knight are now trying Silksong risk-free. That's how you get this kind of player explosion in just 2 weeks. Now let's talk about the backlash, because despite all these numbers, the online conversation doesn't always sound positive. Reddit threads, Twitter posts, YouTube comments, you'll see people saying things like the bosses are unfair, or Hornet's mechanics feel chunky, or it doesn't innovate enough. And this is where we need to separate two things: subjective criticism and objective design flaws. Subjective criticism is when you say, I don't like stamina mechanics, or I don't like punishing difficulty, or I prefer slower exploration. That's about taste. Perfectly valid, but that doesn't mean the game is bad. Objective design flaws are different. That's when the game is broken, like inconsistent hit detection, camera issues, or a balance problem that undermines the entire system. The majority of Silksong complaints, they're subjective. Hornet plays faster, more vertically, with a more aggressive combat rhythm than the Knight in Hollow Knight, so people don't like that. But it's not a flaw, it's design intent, and we've seen this exact story before. Sekiro was slammed at release because it forced players into parry combat and removed build variety. People called it bad Souls design, and then it won Game of the Year. The difference, Sekiro wasn't broken, it was just designed for a different playstyle. So why does Silksong work even if not everyone loves it? First, movement fluidity. Hornet is fast, precise, and designed to feel agile. That alone changes the feel of exploration and combat. Second, combat pacing. Hollow Knight was slower and weightier. Silksong rewards speed, reads, and punishes. It's not better or worse, it's just different. Third, challenge balance. The game is punishing, sure, but the bosses are consistent, attacks are telegraphed, patterns are learnable. When you die, it's because you made the mistake, not because the game cheated you. And finally, value. This is where the $20 price point is a game changer. At $20, Silksong isn't competing with AAA games, it's competing with a night out. And when you're delivering this much polished content and replayability at that price, that's why numbers are what they are, even just 2 weeks in. So here's the bottom line. Silksong has been out for just 2 weeks, and it's already proven that complaints don't kill good game design. People can nitpick all they want, but over 5 million players are already diving in, and that number's only going to keep climbing. Yes, you can criticize mechanics you don't enjoy, but that doesn't automatically mean the design is flawed. Sometimes it just means the game wasn't built for you. And that's okay. Not every game has to please everyone. Some games are made with a clear vision, and if you're on that wavelength, you're going to love it. So what do you think? Is Silksong living up to the hype for you after these first 2 weeks, or do you think the critics are right to call out its design? Drop your takes in the comments, and if you want more Souls-like and indie deep dives, hit subscribe, as well as that like button and the bell notification to be notified when we post new videos. As well, if you haven't already, please head on over to my Twitch at LimeryEN so you can watch me play Souls-like games on the daily. Until next time, praise the sun and keep gaming. Goodbye, Tarnished. Bye, 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 bye.